Let's talk about the Green Bay Packers because so far in this offseason period, I have loved everything that this team has done. And I know a lot of Green Bay Packer fans may hate me for saying this, but I like them going out there and getting Josh Jacobs and moving off Aaron Jones. I'm going to talk about that later in the video. But let's look at Jordan Love. 18 touchdowns to 1 interceptions between week 8 into the last week of the season. The kid was phenomenal. On the back half of the season, Jordan Love is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL already into his young career. 32 passing touchdowns. That was second most in the NFL with 11 interceptions. And you pair Josh Jacobs up in this offense as well, and you still have A.J. Dillon. I like that. Now, Josh Jacobs did have a down year last year with the Las Vegas Raiders. He only averaged 3.5 yards a carry. He had 6 rushing touchdowns for 805 rushing yards. But the year before that, he led the league in rushing. The offensive line was not good enough with the Las Vegas Raiders. He had terrible quarterback play as well with Jimmy Garoppolo, and Aiden O'Connell wasn't the best either. You put this guy in this situation with the weapons that the Green Bay Packers have. I like that. Aaron Jones just could not stay healthy. Only had 656 rushing yards on the season. If he could stay healthy, then I would have a lot to say about this move. Now, Josh Jacobs in the past has dealt with injuries, but he's been more consistent than Aaron Jones in terms of playing on the field. So I like this. You go out there and you get the running back that's younger, has less mileage on his body, and you pair him up with your young quarterback. And the wide receivers are already set with this team. It does not make sense to go out there and overpay for a wide receiver. It seems like the wide receiving market right now is a bit slow as I record this video. They have not went out there and they have not targeted a wide receiver, and they don't need to. Christian Watson is a very good wide receiver if he can stay healthy. That's the biggest thing with this kid is his health. We've seen it in the last 2 years. He is a freak of nature. At 6'4", this kid can flat out ball. He can run. He can body up the cornerback, body up the safeties. 422 receiving yards on the season, 5 receiving touchdowns, and that's on only 28 catches. If he can stay healthy, just give me 9 to 10 games. That's all you have to do. I think that he can be a very good number 1 wide receiving option for Jordan Love. You also have Romeo Doubs as well, 674 receiving yards in the season, 8 receiving touchdowns. Then you have Jaden Reed as well, who was the best wide receiver with this team. If you want to be honest, he has 793 receiving yards on the season and 8 receiving touchdowns. And then you also have Wicks as well, who was a very good wide receiver that played with this team this season. Now, the thing is with Wicks, you have these other guys. You have Romeo Doubs, Christian Watson. You have Jaden Reed in front of him. But Wicks came in. He gave you some good production as well. 581 receiving yards on the season, 4 receiving touchdowns. He averaged 15 yards a catch. I don't see the Green Bay Packers going out there and targeting the wide receiver in the NFL draft or through free agency because the young core that they have and Coach LaFleur is doing a pretty good job developing these guys. And you look at the rest of the offense as well. Luke Musgrave is a very good receiving tight end. 352 receiving yards on the season, 1 receiving touchdown. I believe that he'll get better as well. You also went out there and you cut David Bakhtiari as well. That sucks to see. He only played 13 games in the last 3 seasons. It's the knee injury, man. I don't think that he'll ever play another down in the NFL. I could be wrong, but they had to move off of him. It made 0 sense to pay him all that money, and he was never around in the field. This guy could not stay healthy, but when he was healthy, he was one of the best tackles in the NFL. And I want to give David his flowers right now. If this is the end, a phenomenal tackle for the Green Bay Packers and one of the best tackles that the Green Bay Packers have ever seen step foot in that uniform on the field for the Packers. Hopefully he can figure some things out in the future with that knee injury, but I highly doubt it because usually with offensive linemen, when they deal with those knee injuries, they never get better. You can look at Mekhi Becton with the New York Jets. Now, defensively is where things get very interesting. They went out and they signed Xavier McKinney, who was a star safety with the New York Giants. I love this move a lot. I really love this move. You had to go out there and you had to get a superstar safety for when Darnell Savage left this team. And Darnell Savage is no longer with this team. What you get in Xavier McKinney is a true playmaker. 78 solo tackles, 1 forced fumble, 3 interceptions, and 11 pass deflections as well. Now you look at a guy like Jair Alexander. Will he be with this team long term? We will see. He has struggled with injuries, but when he's been on the field, he's a true number 1 corner. I love his game. Eric Stokes can't stay healthy. And that's been the biggest thing with the Packers defense. Guys can't stay healthy from Jair Alexander to Eric Stokes. If Eric Stokes can be healthy and he can play more on the field, he has potential to be a solid number 2 corner in the NFL. The last time he played a full season, he looked very good. That's the funny thing. So we'll see if those injuries have taken a toll on this kid or not. I could definitely see the Green Bay Packers going out there and targeting a cornerback in the NFL draft. And I do want to talk about Jair Alexander one more time. He had an incident to where he got suspended against the Carolina Panthers because of a coin toss incident. I don't know if he wants to stay with his team long term or not. It will really help the Green Bay Packers if he does want to stick around long term, because this is a guy that has superstar ability, but it makes zero sense to keep a guy around if he does not want to be with this team. So if he doesn't want to be here and he still want to pull out the childish antics, you could trade him away. But I haven't heard anything about the Green Bay Packers looking to trade Jair Alexander, and I would like to see him stick around with this young core because this team is a major contender in that division that they're in. The Minnesota Vikings right now, they have Sam Darnold at quarterback. That's a huge question mark. Will he work out or not? Then you look at the Detroit Lions. That's a tough team, but we saw the Packers did to them on the back half of the season. And you have the Chicago Bears. Will they draft Caleb Williams? Will they stick with Justin Fields? It seems like at this point, it doesn't matter who the quarterback is for the Chicago Bears. Whether it's Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre, or Jordan Love, they just beat the Bears over and over again. So the Bears could be tough competition, but for whatever reason, the Green Bay Packers always have their number. And I do want to talk about the new defensive set that they will have. They moved off of Joe Barry. I love that move as a whole. If you listen to this channel for the last couple of years, Joe Barry has been one of the worst defensive coordinators I have ever seen. They went out there, they fired him, and it's about damn time because now you have Jeff Hafley, who is coming over from college. I do think that he could be a very good defensive coordinator with this team. And they're switching things around. He'll be installing that 4-3 defense that he ran in Boston College. In Boston College, he did a lot of good things at college level. Now, the college and pros are two different things, but it's a change of scenery for these defensive players, and I do believe that they'll be in a better situation because of it. Give him some time, but I believe that he'll be a way better defensive coordinator than Joe Barry ever was at this level. But you have to give this guy a lot of time. I like the moves that this team has made. You still have Devontae Wyatt on this team, who is a very good defensive lineman, had 5.5 sacks on the season. Preston Smith is a very good pass rusher, 8 sacks on the season, 2 forced fumbles. You still have the big man, Kenny Clark, as well. He's holding things down, 7.5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, one of the best run-stopping defensive linemen in the NFL. Quay Walker is still with this team. Quay Walker has some solid production this season as well. On paper, the Packers defense looks very good, but it's going to come down to coaching and can they stay healthy. We know that Jordan Love can go out there and he can ball. Like I mentioned before, had the second most passing touchdowns in the NFL to Dak Prescott. And look at this playoff run that this team just went on. They beat the Dallas Cowboys in great fashion. They went against the San Francisco 49ers, and they did slip up, but you had them down in that game. The Green Bay Packers, as long as Jordan Love can stay healthy and that defense can be above average, this is a dangerous team in that division. I think the Green Bay Packers are on to something, and their free agency is not done just yet. They have to go through the NFL draft as well, but I love the moves that they're making. Give Brian Gutekunst a lot of credit for going out there and drafting Jordan Love. I'm going to continue to say that because that man got a lot of hate for when he first drafted Jordan Love and they had Aaron Rodgers. A lot of people were saying, hey, go out there and get a wide receiver. The guys that he has brought in, they've shown up for the Green Bay Packers, and they have shown out. Give Coach LaFleur a lot of credit as well. And I was one of those guys at the halfway point of the season. I was looking at Jordan Love and saying, hey, this may not work out because the defense and Jordan Love did not look the same. But on the back half of the season, he went in there, he adjusted some things, and the same with Coach LaFleur. So credit to those guys. They're having an amazing free agency right now, in my opinion. But let me know in the comment section below. If you're a Green Bay Packers fan, let me hear from you. How do you feel about your team? Do you believe that this team can make a deep playoff run in the NFC? If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, hit the like button. Most importantly, we want each and every last one of you guys stay safe, stay positive. Thanks for watching the video, guys. God bless. Peace.